Let's talk about this game. It felt like a lot of people are drawing large conclusions about the Niners based off this game. Like, not just the Niners, but their quarterback. And I'm hearing a lot of stuff like, this is the team beat or he's the real deal. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
They won 30-7. They
Mm-hmm.
dominated like few teams did week one. Are they officially the team to beat in the NFC?
I think they are. They're right there. I think the Cowboys put on an amazing performance as well, 40-0. Their defense looked amazing. So I think it's the Cowboys and the Niners. Those are the two teams in the NFC. I think both teams look better than the Eagles. We'll see. But obviously, I think people, they like to jump and draw conclusions off of one game, week one. But as you've seen, every single season, week one doesn't always determine the outcome of the season. But based off just yesterday, the Niners and the Cowboys to me look like the teams to beat in the NFC, and I don't think it's particularly close.
Yeah, I think it's fair to remember that, Jim Tomsula won his first game. Chip Kelly won his first game. Weird things happen week one. And I think I felt like I learned more about the Steelers in this game than the Niners. Like, what did we really learn about the Niners that we didn't already know? I guess we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But are they the team to beat in the NFC? I still have my questions. It's not because I think they're not good. I mean, if they stay healthy, they are really good. But look what Dallas did. Like, Dallas faced a better team than the Niners faced and beat them by more. That's kind of interesting. Like, Dallas has a great defense too. Dallas has a great pass rush too. Dallas has a really good quarterback too. And then Philly, like, they only won by 5, but they beat Bill Belichick and they won on the road. I feel like those three teams are clearly the class of the NFC. I feel stupid for hyping up Seattle. Like,
yeah, Seattle. What the hell happened to Seattle and the Rams? That was crazy, man. Did not expect that. So, I know we're talking about the Niners here, but do you think the Seattle's worse than we thought, or the Rams are better than we thought?
Seattle might be worse than we thought. Like, maybe Geno Smith isn't the real deal. We'll have to see. I know his offensive tackles went down, maybe, but it's like still, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
He might be Fugazi.
I thought they would split with Seattle, man. I had the Niners at I was real I try to emotionally hedge a little bit going into the season because I'm a Niners fan, man, and I don't want to get my hopes up and then get let down. So I kind of had the Niners, 10-7. But now after yesterday, I'm going to say 13-4. Like, to me, I don't see a team on the schedule that is better than them. Now, equal to the Cowboys look legit. So who knows what's going to happen with that game. But I feel like the Niners, man, based on yesterday, they looked really, really go. And I want to give credit to Kyle Shanahan because I didn't think they were going to be ready. They usually start slow, and they came out firing. Now, they did have 11 penalties for 85 yards, which is something that they could fix and make them even more dangerous. So in that part, yeah, maybe a little bit more discipline, a little bit more focus is needed there. But overall, man, they looked ready to go. Mike Tomlin, I don't know. Maybe I've been overrating Mike Tomlin, but yeah, the 49ers, man, they look like the team to beat in the NFC. I could easily see the Niners making the Super Bowl.
You said that you had them going 10-7, but after yesterday, you're thinking they might go 13-4. I'm not going to change my prediction. I was at 10-7 as well. I'm not ready to step off that prediction yet, only because I was really surprised at how bad Pittsburgh played.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say. Nothing against the Niners, but that Pittsburgh team that we saw yesterday was not good. And it wasn't because of their defense. Like, Patrick Peterson, he got, embarrassed a little bit, but still, it was the Steelers' offense. It was the fact that they couldn't get a first down until the very last possession of the first half. Like, you're going to tire out your defense.
Yeah.
You're going to make the other offense look good if you can't get a first down ever.
Yeah.
So Kenny Pickett was so bad. Their running game was so non-existent, and their offensive coordinator is terrible, Matt Canada. I think that's a team that isn't going to make the playoffs. So I still have questions about the Niners against legit contenders, and also legit quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett is terrible.
Yeah, he's bad. Yeah.
Why did he not scramble more? Why are you just standing there in the pocket and trying to throw under pressure? Who do you think you are? You're not good.
Yeah, last Monday, you predicted the Niners were going to win. I predicted they would lose. But by Wednesday, I had changed my mind. Like, when they signed Nick Bosa, I saw Kittle was practicing. Ray was going to be practicing. I was like, okay, yeah, the Niners are going to win this one. So I changed my prediction on Wednesday. But I thought it was going to be close. And I thought Kenny Pickett was something that he's not. That if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, I feel down and out because I didn't see anything from Kenny Pickett that would make you feel like the future is bright. Like he looked like mid to lower mid as a quarterback. And I don't know if it's
Yeah.
just the offense, the new coordinator, Matt Canada, that they got, but whatever's going on in Pittsburgh, man, it looks sketchy. Like they did not look good at all offensively at all.
They didn't look ready. They didn't look, which was crazy because they had like this great preseason, but Cam Hayward, their best D tackle, left the game with a hamstring pull. Deontay Johnson, their second best wide receiver, left the game with a hamstring pull. They seemed so disjointed and not ready for their home opener, which was strange. I don't understand how that happened. And we're not here to talk about the Steelers, but I just caution a little bit. I know it's like victory lap Monday. Everyone who ever liked Brock Purdy, everyone who ever thought the Niners were going to win the Super Bowl is a big I told you so day. And like maybe it is, but I still want to say like, hey man, can we just acknowledge that Pittsburgh was buns?
They were ass. They were ass.
Buns.
Sorry, the buns is probably a better word for the show. But I will say
Buns.
that the Niners defense looked really damn good. So
It
maybe it was
did.
just that, man. Like the pressure
It
on
did.
Kenny Pickett was ridiculous. Like, especially what's new or new within the last couple of years, at least since they've got rid of Buckner, is the interior pass rush. Like watching the 49ers put that much pressure on Kenny Pickett through the inside was great to see, because if Armstead and Hargrave are going to apply, Kinlaw looked good when he was in there in the interior. If they're going to be able to apply pressure like that on most of the teams they face, it's a good sign for the 49ers, because that was something that was missing from the 49ers defense last year.
Yeah, and I think it really underscores there's only one type of quarterback that can really beat the Niners. Either Patrick Mahomes, or you need a quarterback who can scramble. If you're just going to stand in the pocket against this defense, you better get the ball. Like, you better be Peyton Manning, and even then, he'd probably have a really tough day against this team. I think you got to take the scramble lanes that they give you. You'd see that they give scramble lanes up like they don't care. And that's why, like, one of the reasons they're, I think, 4-18 against Russell Wilson in his career. That type of quarterback gives the Niners problems. Like, not the zone read quarterback. The zone read doesn't really matter. It's scrambling. The Niners are very susceptible to quarterbacks who can do that.
Well, somebody that can scramble really well in the Niners play in week 3 is the Giants, but we saw him against the Cowboys last night. He scrambles his ass off, but he got sacked 7 times. So it depends. I don't know. Are the Cowboys just better prepared for that type of quarterback? We'll find out. So it'll be interesting, because the Giants' offensive line looked awful, but Daniel Jones can scramble. So we'll see what happens in week 3.
I still feel like Philly's the team to beat, or Dallas, one of those two teams. But the Niners seem like they're right there. And if they can stay healthy, which I'm skeptical about, I could see them beating either team, because the thing about it's a game of matchups, and Dak doesn't exactly scramble like he used to. Against the Niners, he kind of parks himself in the pocket, and when there's pressure, he throws picks. That's what he does. Yeah. So if the Niners, that's why he's been awful against the Niners in 2 playoff games. He's gotten worse. I think Jalen Hurts is probably a tougher matchup for the Niners.
Yeah, Dallas is going to be no joke, man. Like the pass rush that they have going against this offensive line in Burford, and if there was like 2 negatives on this team, or just one negative, it's the right side of the line. Like we were all concerned with. Kyle Shanahan has to figure out how to help Colton McKivitz on the outside. Burford's got to tighten it up, at least with penalties. He didn't have a great game either. But Colton McKivitz, you can't leave that guy on an island. Kyle Shanahan has to figure out how to get him help, whether it's a tight end or it's Kyle Juszczyk or something. But when it's an elite pass rusher and it's a for sure passing down, if you leave Colton McKivitz on an island with that guy, it's going to be trouble for Brock Purdy. So Kyle Shanahan has to figure that out. And Brock Purdy's got to do some. It's his sophomore year now, right? So he's not a rookie. I'm not going to give him the pass either. And hopefully Kyle Shanahan gives him the freedom to adjust his protections after the huddle breaks. But Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan have to figure out another way to help Brock Purdy in protection in those situations.
People say with Colton McKivitz, we're talking about him later, like, don't overreact. He was going against TJ Watt. He's the best. Yeah, that's true. But Spencer Burford didn't really have anyone who could challenge him. Cam Hayward left. The Steelers didn't have interior pressure really much at all in the game like the Niners did. And Burford's another guy who's going to get tested. Not in week 1, but he will be tested. When he go against the Eagles, the Cowboys, he'll be someone who needs to step up. Absolutely.